My name is Brandon.
My name is Jake.
My name is Sven. We did the physical changes of Oconomowoc.
Like the population and city growth.
The old roads and buildings.
And new things, like places that used to be in the place of old things.
During this video, you may hear things that you've already heard before and things that you may not have heard.
Such things like Brownberry was started at Oconomowoc.
The Four Corners was once a Walgreens and then a bank.
And the Pine Terrace once housed a couple of our United States presidents and some of the top brewers of our state.
Oconomowoc has much more history to it than you may have thought.
This is the Oconomowoc Post Office. It was used as a halfway marker for mailmen between the cities of Madison and Milwaukee. One mailman would bring mail to Oconomowoc and another would bring it the rest of the way. An example is Madison to Oconomowoc and then to Milwaukee.
This is the Valentine Mansion. It was a large mansion that is only now a foundation where two houses sit on it.
This is a major Indian crossing. Before everyone moved to Oconomowoc, this was the main trails that the Indians once traveled that now have became Wisconsin Avenue and Main Street.
This is the train station. It was brought to people through Oconomowoc. It was built in the mid to late 1800s.
This is a major fur trading post. Indians used this spot as a fur trading post because it was the ideal spot right on the water's edge.
This is the ancient Indian mounds. It was where Indians buried their family, like when they would pass, and it was destroyed and turned into a farm field by early people that founded Oconomowoc.
And is now target distribution. This is the Odenburg Walgreen Agency. This was created in 1937.
This is Leaf's Garage, and it was in the mid 1900s is when it came to Oconomowoc.
This is Lee's Restaurant, and it was made in around 1937. This is Dr. Al Labor, dentist, and it was made in 1906.
This is the Arbaggy Bros Ice Cream Parlor. This was in 1906. This is the confectionery, was run by Abraham E. Habib and Alexander Arbaggy.
This is Wowsy and Snyder. It was made in 1909, and it was for dry goods, carpets, cloaks, and clothing.
Simons and Olson Company came to Oconomowoc in roughly the early 1900s, and it specialized in painting, decorating, and wallpapering.
J.F. Flanagan Agency was made in 1936.
This is the Jones House. This was from 1910 to 1919. The Jones House was a year-round resort owned by Mr. William M. Jones,
Which is now the Village Green.
This is the LaBelle House. It was made in 1870 to 1879 area, and the house is located near Fowler Lake on the corner of Wisconsin Avenue and Main Street. It was a large two-story porch wraps around the front and the side of the three-story building. The windows have shutters, and men used to gather on the porch. The LaBelle House was destroyed by a fire in 1875.
This is LaBelle Villa, and it existed in the late 1800s. The LaBelle Villa was located on Sand Beach on the east side of LaBelle. It was a 4-story tower projects from the center of the front of the hotel. A porch covered a double entrance, and a big sign hung over the entrance that read LaBelle Villa. The porch wrapped around both sides of the hotel, had a big windows so it could be seen from the second floor. Trees surrounded the hotel, and it was a building that was owned by Willis H. Sprawling in the late 1890s and was only run for a few years.
This is the Oconomowoc Enterprise, and it was made in 1915.
This is where the Oconomowoc's first paper was created before they moved.
This was Oconomowoc's one of their first banks. This was in the late 1800s.
This is Woodlands Hotel, Georgian Revival Hotel building. There's a large covered porch supported by columns. The three-story hotel has a mansard roof with third-story dormers. To the left of the hotel is a Swiss-style cottage. The cottage was built to accommodate overflow guests. The cottage was later moved to 640 Glenview Avenue in Oconomowoc. A windmill stands to the right of the hotel. Woodlands Hotel was raised in 1928.
And it is no longer there, now a subdivision. This is the Oconomowoc Lake Club. It was originally the Villa Grifford, known as the Grifford Hotel, in the early 1800s. It was originally a residential home to the name of, or for a gentleman to the name of Mr. George P. Grifford. He then opened it to his friends, resulting in them enjoying all the food that he had there, and the lodging, and all the recreational activities. In the late 1860s, Mr. Grifford opened up his homes to a few more people other than his friends, creating a elegant home / hotel that members and people could visit. 19 years later, the Oconomowoc Lake Club is created and is now a member place for other people to come and enjoy the Oconomowoc Lake. It later built down in 1994, and it took after 94 years of running, and it was rebuilt in 1996.
All right, this is the Pine Terrace. It was built in 1879 as a private summer home for the Shuttler Brothers. The Pine Terrace was modeled after a design of the French nobleman's castle near Vienna. The original owners, who were wagon builders from Chicago, named their estate Monbijou, which means my jewel. Monbijou stayed in the Shuttler's family for over 40 years and has seen people like Mark Twain, lots of our country's famous beer brewers, including the Miller, Anheuser, Busch, and Pabst families. The Pine Terrace has also seen several American presidents in the 1920s. The inn was sold and became the Pine Terrace Resort, becoming the most popular resort, and at the time, the inn owned 150 or more acres of land stretching down to Fowler Lake.
This is the original Oconomowoc border when it was first made in 1873, so it's the green outline. This is the city of Oconomowoc. This is the border of it in 1914, and that would be the orange border.
The red border here is the Oconomowoc border in 1964.
All right, this was Rockwell's house, one of the first founders of Oconomowoc. This is the original spot the founder of Oconomowoc lived.
This is Zion Episcopal Church, the first church that was given land in Oconomowoc by Rockwell. Brownberry was created in Oconomowoc, Wisconsin, in Catherine Clark's house, which later turned into a brand known nationwide. This is the original house. Brownberry was created in 1946.
That concludes our journey through Oconomowoc in the time periods. Thank you for watching.